penis, 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 penis. Penis, penis. Yeah. Penis. How you doing? Oh, me too. So Jen, we actually sometimes in a sound check I'll go testes, 1, 2 testes. It's a good one. I'll try to sneak it in if I want to see if the sound guy's listening to me. Well, nothing. Just ate some Thai food. Watched a little South Park. Pretty chill. Yeah. How about you? What you been doing? Yeah. Right on. That sucks. Well, it sounds like you might be back before market opens, so at least there's that. Right on. Audience is pretty light. I guess everybody has their questions answered. This is nice. Right, 45 minutes of bullshitting and 15 minutes of actual Gammastrike discussion. I saw a picture on the Stupid Food subreddit of a half a pineapple with pizza on it. It was a pepperoni pizza on top of a pineapple instead of a pizza dough. I bet it was pretty good. I don't know. What do you anybody got any questions yet? We're gonna wait for more people to filter in and then not ask questions. Is my surrogate father / fake older brother going to be joining us? Lame. That's the one. Well, that's too bad. I was about to. We could have done some glazing on the backfill that's happened. Are you sure that's JFresh Gaming and not his kid? Apparently. General Custer's Revenge. Apparently you're muted on YouTube. Did the macro page in dev take so long to load?
Now I'm fixed. Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to do like 1,000 things right now.
You should probably do 999 things. 1,000th one is really fucking you up.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, I just watched the South Park episode where they had like it was the cash for gold one.
Uh-huh.
It was so funny.
I don't know if I've seen that.
It's a good one. It's like Stan's dad or Stan's grandpa buys him like a bolo tie,
Uh-huh.
and he pays like $6,000 for it, and it's just a piece of shit. He takes the cash for gold place, and they're gonna give him like $10 for it or whatever. And so he gets super pissed off and figures out like how this whole thing works with like the like the TV like programs where they sell the jewelry, and like Stan calls the guy. The guy's like, "Oh, we got our first caller." He's like, "Hi, yeah, I think you're a terrible person and you should kill yourself." It's just so funny. Like the whole thing goes through like the cycle of like the cheap jewelry getting sold on the TV for way too much, getting bought by the cash for gold people, getting smelted down and sent back to a sweatshop in India where it gets basically reconstituted in another piece of crappy jewelry.
Nice. All
Good
right.
episode. We have a hand.
Oh shit.
A person.
I'm not muted on YouTube anymore. What the fuck is Jay Fresh doing?
I only raised my hand.
Ah!
Stop talking.
What's up?
Did you hear him?
Okay, his kid is definitely not playing Baldur's Gate. I'm gonna message him. Hey, dickhead.
Yeah, I only raised my hand to make Dork stop talking because that story was horrible.
I was doing a terrible job explaining the episode. It's a really good episode, though.
Cool, cool.
He just thought he could just backfill and chill. Is that like?
Must be.
Is that what's happening right now?
Probably. I could actually check. Let me see. Always watching, Wazowski. Always watching.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll keep an eye on it. He might be. I'll be able to tell. Atomic could tell easier than me. How about this price action, dude? Big old snooze fest. I think we had one interesting candle today. And then the rest was just boring as shit.
Pretty much fucking just sucked the whole time.
It sucked for all week, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Actually, I did okay today. I just sold like a... Wait, is there someone on stage? There's someone on stage. What's going on? Oh. Yeah, it was just like sold like the 90 and the 95 for like, I don't know, a few grand in credit on like the
Nice. Did you toe ring him?
First 80 test. Yeah, I never got stopped out of them because we never bounced back above 75. I did get burned on like 10 cent $80 calls.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just bought those in case like my hedge didn't trip and we got some sort of like weird fucking candle at the end of the day. Or my stop.
Yeah. It's right around the time for that to happen, so makes sense. Yeah, I've just been fucking chilling. Not really doing much trading, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, that seems nice.
Yeah, if only you could do that.
What?
Not trade.
Oh. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
To have some fucking other person do it for you.
I would like to I would actually like to just have a computer do it for me, because I don't trust people. Oh, hey, look, it's JFresh.
Well, now he's late, so he doesn't get to come up here.
Well,
Damn.
no, yeah, he gets to come up here.
I can leave. I'd love to leave.
No, that's not how this works. No, I don't want an AI trade bot. That sounds
Can we
terrible.
get an AI JFresh?
With an AI to steal my money and then lose it.
I think people will be really excited about AI JFresh until they ask it questions and it just tells them to shut up and leave them alone.
But that's like the real JFresh.
Or it just doesn't respond. It says when I don't respond, it's a nod of approval.
Me too, yes. I'm currently in the House of Hope, which is what I'd rather be doing than this.
You guys are fucking nerds.
If you guys don't ask questions, I'm just gonna leave.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
gonna
it
do-
seems like tonight's the night that we've officially answered everyone's questions and everyone is fully informed on the inner workings of Gammastrike.
It's
We've
actually
done it.
It's actually perfect.
Yeah, well done, everybody.
You did it, guys.
Woohoo!
Now
So
we just
much
have
macro.
to do the hard launch and then do this all over again times 10.
Yep.
Is
Well,
macro-
no,
is-
because we're
are
gonna
you
have like
done?
the things. We're not gonna have to do anything.
JFresh, are you done
Done with what?
with your backfill?
Yeah,
Yes, but-
Oh,
finished
dude.
yesterday.
Oh, fuck yeah. Looks like we got one god peener, though.
Not my problem.
Yeah, I guess not.
Hey, are you gonna? All right, someone else raised their hand until the microphone situation's figured out. There we go.
Are we finally gonna get 6400 tomorrow so I can stop posting that meme?
Yes, broke up. Looks like it.
What's going on, you two?
I wanted to see if you guys would kind of go into the Greeks by expiration and look at the specifically the delta that's falling off on 731, especially compared to the delta at other dates like the end of September. Just kind of talk us through that.
What ticker?
SPXW.
Oh, okay. I looked at it. What's the next question?
Nice.
Walk you through it. I mean,
Yeah.
in general, there's been kind of a weird recent move to end of month contracts. I'm not entirely sure what is motivating that shift. I mean, obviously OPEX is still massive for most things, but for some reason, the end of month has also been an interesting one.
The
think it
JPM
might-
callers and the people following
Yeah,
it.
something makes me think it does have something to do with structured products like that.
The July 31 though, that there's a ton of delta that's going to fall off, and then but it's not, and it's a lot more than the August or September delta. I would have
Yeah,
thought
it
the
usually
September
is
would
much
be more.
shorter dated. I mean, remember this is SBSW,
Right.
so this is much shorter dated contracts. I mean, anybody who wants leverage with any amount of theta. It's gonna hit the SPX chain typically, but yeah, I mean the end of the month thing, it is usually a shorter time frame. So usually it's like, oh wow, like we just got off OPEX and now we're gonna have a bunch of stuff expire at the end of the month too. And it doesn't really build on like the quarterly time frame. It builds on the monthly time frame. So it's like every month. Whereas if you look at something like, I don't know, I'm gonna pull up NVIDIA. I'm looking at Gamma. Hold on.
Off the Gamma.
Yeah. So like if I look at NVIDIA, 9/19 stacked, January stacked, December stacked. It's still like a quarter thing mostly. Yeah, it's just those end of month contracts that just accumulate for some reason. Oh, there's also another very obvious reason as well for why it's stacked at this particular date is what happens.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm
Liberation
not
Day part
I'm
two.
not bullshitting you. Yeah, the monthly thing is how the end of month trend is growing, and it's something I've been watching for a little while now. But yeah, August 1st is the quote unquote taco part 2.
Does that day fall on a Tuesday?
No, that's
Damn.
it's Taco Friday. Fiesta
Damn.
Taco Fiesta Friday.
Ah. I was hoping we get a Taco Tuesday.
It's Friday.
So it's just
Yeah, that's
everyone's just getting all their whatevers, knickers in or not for
yeah.
Taco Fiesta
That's my
Friday.
biggest guess. It's a combination of those two effects. What percentage of one or the other? I don't know.
What's
Is
the
this- Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, prop another question with the OPEX versus end of month stuff. What are the what's the positioning look like in compare? I mean, does OPEX still just dwarf it, or the end of the month stuff, or is it becoming significantly, getting into kind of a significant figure of relevance?
OPEX still dwarfs it for most things. Again, SPX is a little different just because of the way that the expirations are structured and how you have AM contracts and all that. But yeah, I mean, if you look at it, typically those monthly positions build in that month. They're monthly position. It's every month that those positions build. So you should see them start to crop up on where is the end of April? Yeah, actually, they're already quite large at the end of April. End of April is already larger than, at least in terms of delta, than August OPEX.
Interesting.
April?
So yeah, or sorry, August. End of August
Oh,
versus August OPEX. I don't know why I keep saying April. It's not even.
it's okay. It's your neural divergence.
It's been a long day.
Well, you wrote that giant paper.
Yeah. That was a slog, but I got it done. No chat. Well, okay. I have to admit, I did use ChatGPT at the very end. I asked it to write me a standard acknowledgement for a Department of Defense contract, and I filled in the blanks.
Gross.
Yeah, I didn't feel great doing it, but it wasn't something that needed creativity. It's literally like in the template I was given, it said insert boilerplate acknowledgement here. It's like, all right.
Well, that's all the question I had was just this new toy that you guys gave us this week. Just
New toilet?
the new toy, the Greeks by expiration.
Oh.
It's
Toy
a fun toy.
that.
Yeah,
Toy
that.
that. I see the
Yeah.
toilet. See, you said the toy that you gave us. I thought you said the toilet you gave us, and I was like, how dare you?
It's fun.
Yeah, it is.
Maple, don't judge me. How dare you? This is my office. You can judge me somewhere else. Doc updates are not done. I just wrote 35 pages of garbage the last 3 days. Give me a day. I'll be done this weekend. I already gave you a
Who's
deadline. Grackle
Grackle?
asked me.
Quit stealing my bit. That's my IP.
When docs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I can't spam it. It loses
Why are
its
people asking me
flavor.
every day when docs, but nobody's asking front end when front end finished? Like the
Then
scanners for the documents you want for the scanners, those tools aren't even finished. You don't want the tools, you just want the documents for the tools?
they want the write up on how to interpret the TA on the VIX.
I hate you so much.
You teed that one up too well.
I didn't do TA on the VIX. The computer did. The AI did TA on the VIX. It's not my fault.
I love how technically it is an AI. In the most broad technical sense of the definition AI,
Yeah.
it kind of is.
In the sense that the linear fit tool in Excel is AI, yes.
Exactly, yes. Which it is.
Stretching that definition for all it's worth, Webster.
It's already doing
Actually,
more heavy lifting than a world champion fucking deadlifter.
it actually already is. It literally is AI. You know, and you go and you make a graph and you're like, oh, fit a line to this graph. That's AI.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Really, really
disputing it.
fancy. You take like if you have 30 data points, you can like make 20 of them your training data and make the other 10 your test data.
Oh, now
Hmm.
that's
Then
AI.
then you only fit your line through the 20 points, and then you estimate the error on the 10 points, and you're just like, oh my god, it's so smart.
Sparks of AGI.
Project Stargate, here we go.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
wait for our 500 million in venture
Actually, I
capital
was
to flow in.
reading. I'm glad you got keyed into Ed Zitron. I've really enjoyed his stuff for a while. But I was just reading one of his. He did a paid article on Stargate, and apparently it just like doesn't exist.
Well, it can't because it takes time to build data centers, and that's
But they're already saying it exists.
not how that works.
Yeah.
You don't snap your fingers and have data centers.
No, the data center that's being built in Abilene, Texas, is being called by Sam Altman the first Stargate. But it's actually not being funded by OpenAI or
Oh,
SoftBank.
I don't
It
want
has
to.
nothing to
I don't want to
do.
talk about fucking AI. Are we gonna do that again
Well,
tonight? It was like
Max
30
Fires
minutes
has
of
a
AI.
question for
How is your
Gert,
wife
actually.
not? Who? Oh, like an actual
Max Fires.
question about the
Like
platform?
an actual question. Yeah.
Bring them up. I'll dip.
Yeah, get up here. Oh, he's
he
written
just
it
wrote a
all out in
message.
chat. It's so long.
That's what she said.
Can you do a review of the RTD page for SPXW using Gex and volume charts at the bottom and the best way to utilize that for day trading? I've done that like 9 times on these. I've been looking at strikes on both immediately before and after spot, and it's been helpful getting an idea what decision direction it might move, along with the GXS data. I know there's more to it than that, and I'm curious what's the best way to utilize it for day trading. Are there plans to visually adjust these charts to make it easier to see what is increasing or decreasing, like an up or down arrow at the bottom of each strike, average over X minutes, or something along those lines?
I can answer the last question. Yes.
Really? I mean, I want to be honest here. I don't think. Well,
We have stuff in the cooker.
All
We
right.
have stuff in the cooker for a little bit of that. We are going to enhance the live data with some new gadgets. They're in testing and development as we speak. So those will be nice. As for utilizing the data, I mean, I can't afford bare call spreads, so I'll let the man who can explain it. Although he has done it a million times.
Died.
He died.
Persons.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I just gotta navigate over to Gammastrike and we can like, well, we can look at the new RTD page, I guess. Because it's about time
Should we
to
tease it?
it's about time to tease it.
Willie, you ready to tease it? I was half thinking you weren't even gonna ever release it. You're just gonna be like, we're gonna keep this for ourselves.
No. It doesn't have I mean, well,
It's
no,
So-
we'll give it to everybody. It's
You
it's
sounded
what,
like you didn't want to give people buckets.
Can I ask a follow up to that question?
which one?
What he just asked, with like how to interpret the Gherkin volume part a little bit better. I think maybe what he's thinking of, and what I have trouble with sometimes too, is telling whether or not something is going to be a wall that it gets rejected off of, or ooh, that looks like a lot of nice gamma exposure up there, so we're going to definitely go up there, even though it's really, really high. And I guess we'd have to look at like the other page to really get a sense of that.
No, it's very simple. The higher the gamma exposure on the market maker, the more mean reversion there's going to be in price. So if you have, because you have to think about the MM's like PNL as well as their exposure, right? And so when gamma's very high, like, and is getting higher, that is going to become more resistive as you move up. And when gamma is low and getting lower, it's also gonna kind of do the same. Like price is gonna fall into that low point, but then it's gonna probably get like stuck there. It's very hard for it to move back up again. And so like, depending on whether you're positive or negative on the day, right? And that's why we have the flips, so we can tell where that happens. The behavior of the market maker is going to be, more supportive on the, oh, okay, I'm not sharing my screen. I'm just drawing shit and talking. Motherfuck.
Are you about to tease with the new one?
No, well, yeah, but no. Hold on.
Okay.
It's just hard. The thing is, it's hard to show it after hours.
Yeah, it doesn't
fun.
hold the intraday data the same way that the live one does. But the live one doesn't hold the gamma either, so it's kind of just fucked either way.
I mean, you could just use the Greeks
What?
by Strike to talk about things like that. I mean, the same concepts apply.
Yeah, I know. Okay, is that
Yeah.
Yeah, it's up.
1 sec.
Remember, this is old data for SPX on that you're looking at.
Okay. Yeah, this is yesterday's data. And then hold on 1 second. Am I sharing this on YouTube? There we go. Okay. So basically, when you're looking at gamma, and you have your positive bars up here, and then usually you'll have like a strike that's like a little lower here, out further. And then down here, you're going to have, you know, your negative. Maybe you have like a little one like that. And then, yeah, bigger, bigger. And then maybe like that. Right. This is something you guys see pretty much every day on Gammastrike. And then, you know, spots like, say spots here, right in the, well, let me switch my colors so you guys can see it a little better. Say spot is just right here. You know, at like, let's make up a strike for that too. We'll call that 6,300. Okay. Well, actually it'd be like 60, let's say it's 62.97. And then this is 6,300. This is 6,310. And then, you know, down here you've got 90, 95, 90, 85. Okay. So what's happening is, you know, when this starts to fall below here, which isn't necessarily the flip point is usually around here somewhere, but it depends on, you know, obviously, like, if there's a lot more gamma up here than there is negative gamma down here, then the flip point is going to be moved over this way. Because the weight of the whole, like, the flip points aren't really calculated off of exposure. They're calculated off of, like, the actual gamma on the chain. But, basically, as gamma moves negative, the MM is going to sell into falling prices. And they are going to buy into rising prices, which is why the bounces are so nasty. And this is like the basic thing we already know, right? Sell into falling, buy into rising. Here, they buy falling, sell rising. And so when you're looking at, you know, price to climb to the upside and you see all this like positive gamma up here, it actually becomes significantly harder and harder for price to move up. So, you know, like if you're, you know, just spot price and it's trying to climb up that hill out to like 6,310, that hill is like effectively getting steeper and steeper the closer to that strike you get. And the MM is selling into those rising prices more and more aggressively as their exposure increases.
So like as an example with that, if the strike closest to spot on the positive side has gotten super high and there's not much beyond it, and the ones below it are just baby little ticks to the negative, but there's not much exposure there, why then has it gone up? Because that seems to have been like the price movement this week.
I mean,
what you're saying it sounds like it's closer to the end of the day where gamma is compressing so much that really only a few strikes near spot matter.
It definitely didn't happen today.
No.
But in that case, I mean, when you have one strike that has a huge amount of gamma, positive gamma, because of that, buying into falling and selling into rising, it naturally like tries to gravitate to that point as well. Especially if bulls are in control and just kind of trying to push it up, it'll just sit there and grind on it.
Although, but yeah, I mean, even earlier in the day, sometimes it hasn't been like that high, but there's been more positive gamma to the upside than negative to the downside. But it's been high enough that it looks like kind of a wall, but that's not necessarily the case. It doesn't mean it's going to stop there, or that the climb will necessarily be harder. It's just that's the only gamma exposure on the chain.
Well, it's because of the effect of gamma. Once this strike is in the money here, at 6,300, there's not as much for the to hedge as you move up. So it's like very hard to climb into that. But then like once the is, positively hedged for gamma, the increases in their selling become, how do I put this?
It's like once you get up the hill,
Oh,
you're
I have
back on.
Yeah,
perfect
like it's
flat road.
you're kind of running into like a plateau.
Okay. I have
Yeah,
a perfect metaphor. It's like a hang on back on my fish tank. When it first starts sucking up the water and it's not already filled, it makes horrible noises. But then once it gets to a certain point, it's going to finish sucking up by itself and it'll overflow.
Yeah, like
More
a
of
like a siphon.
Heard the word sucking.
It's like a siphon, but
Yeah.
it's not quite a siphon. It's a machine driven siphon.
Oh, okay, so a pump.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, kind of like that. Yeah. So yeah, once the is positively exposed, it's going to be a little easier for price to get to that top level, but still very, very hard for the price to get past that top level. Because remember that like slope of the thing kind of just skyrockets right there. So they can get up this part of the hill on their little bicycle. Let's give them a little bicycle. It's dork. They can get up that part, but then it's just like trying to go up a half pipe from like starting in the middle. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Running head start. Yeah.
Yeah. And so basically, like the like once they get to this point, the just starts selling into them so heavily that they start to like close their calls because the like the potential returns for their calls starts to drop, right? Like there's always that peak on that first candle where the options contract like spikes up. And then you'll notice that the contract immediately sells off and then like ends up kind of like back at the body, but a little higher. If you're trading options contracts, you'll see this a lot. So like it'll test, and then that's the top price of the options contract within that window. And then the price of the contract will fall back and kind of just chop around here. And like usually won't get back out to that point, and then it'll start to drop off. So what happens is like the people who took profit here have already weakened the support, and then everybody tries to net out here, and then eventually that netting turns the gamma down here, so negative, and here, right, and those in the money strikes, that gamma starts to drop, and it's kind of like it tilts the little bicyclist the other way. Very, very slowly, but it does happen.
Okay. Well, that makes sense.
Ooh, we got some questions on YouTube. Is Gammastrike mostly for 0 DTE, SPY, QQQ, IWM? No, it's not. It's
You can use it for anything.
yeah. Yeah, you can use it for overnight analysis, volatility analysis, macro analysis.
You can use it for long-term buy and hold analysis.
Yeah. We have it. We have scanners. We do have a lot of data that we've and models that we run for 0 DTE, but that's not the extent of it. How is your app better than TradeDidX? I don't really know what TradeDidX has, honestly, to do like a cross comparison. I'm pretty sure I remember looking at their stuff like a couple years ago. And that besides having largely incorrect calculations and not calculating their own implied volatilities, which means they're just getting implied volatilities off of the options chain snapshot. I think there was they just what did they have? I think they just have like options flow, which doesn't model anything or give you any directional information. And I think they had like maybe like GEX and DEX and stuff, but they're not calculating the IVs on any of that. So I would say that that's that's a pretty big factor. And order flow is effectively useless, which tells me that whoever's building the platform kind of probably doesn't know a lot about options trading. Not to like insult it too much, but I mean that's a pretty good test. Because order flow, I mean, outside of like exceptionally large orders on the intraday, basically does very little to spot price. Almost all of the gamma that comes into play and like in like market makers dynamic hedging is going to be 0 DTE. And by the end, like as the end of day approaches, that effect becomes even stronger. To the point where like the rest of the chain doesn't even matter, and it's just 0 DTE options that are driving any price movement around spot.
And it's just the ones right next to spot too.
Yeah.
Like everything that's like even like just like 10 basis points away from spot pretty much doesn't matter in like the final seconds. Yeah. I mean, yeah, so I mean that's I want to get back to the whole idea of, you know, is this for just for day traders and things like that? I mean, what we're providing is information on the options market, and that information can be valuable to anybody for a lot of different reasons. Like if you were if you had a large exposure to a one stock, you know, you could use this information to see sort of, oh, what does the market think about, you know, the stock's implied move, right? That kind of stuff, you know, where are the, you know, neutral points on the chain, you know, and if we test those points, right, do I need to change my strategy? Do I want to maybe sell volatility if I like yield? Or do I just want to, you know, buy more of the stock down here? Is this a good price? It helps with that. It's not just, you know, buying and selling options contracts or short-term trades. It could be used for long-term too, and for positions that you want to hold for a long time.
I'm trying to get their like options page to load to see what data they have, but it's just not loading. I need to like pick a different stock. I don't know. I can't I can't load their website.
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I guess the big difference is our website loads.
Maybe it's just because I'm like not signed up or something.
It might be it.
But they have like just like a chart you can look at. It's like just like a trading view chart. But then like I can't load the options page. So I don't know what, and it doesn't seem to be anywhere on their website where they have like the products they offer listed. So no idea. It looks like a bunch of like earnings bullshit garbage from like political fucking portfolios, which you can just get for free. They're probably faster than they're reported elsewhere. Anyway, any more questions?
Thanks for answering my question.
Yeah, no problem.
You guys
I hope it
probably
helped.
kicked
I
me
hope
off
that
stage.
helped. I hope that also answered Max's question as well, because they seem to be slightly related. I mean, I think
Yeah,
his is more generalized.
Yeah, it's just hard to tell sometimes with those levels because you kind of think you've seen a pattern before, but then there's all these other assumptions you have to be aware of, like, you know, am I above Vega neutral and
Yeah.
all these different things.
One
so
second.
it's just a lot to keep in your head.
I mean, it is, but at the same time, right? That all that stuff. There's certain principles that will hold, right? So even if, you know, if we're above Vega neutral, it does kind of shift the odds around a bit for certain strategies, but you can never really assume that you know the strategy that the market is going to employ at any given point in time. So it's always good to take it with a grain of salt, kind of like we've been seeing lately with the market just doing this shitty slow grind up above Vega neutral. You generally end up seeing perhaps different strategies being employed, but also it goes to show, things like the ultra short term volatility trade is just absolutely huge. So
Pretty amazing. We're up 24% after hours right now.
24? No.
Well, point
We're
24.
up.
Sorry, I'm not using.
I was like, no.
No,
If
no,
we're
no,
up
no. Sorry, I'm
24%, a
sorry.
bank's gonna explode in like 3
You
seconds.
know what I mean. You know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
point 24.
Yeah. It's just insane, kind of the level of participation we're seeing, and no one seems to really care anymore. Everybody cared for all of, like, I want to say it was like a week back in like 2023, back when things were brewing for a new Volmageddon. And then it happened, and no one really cared. No one even acknowledged that we had that mini Volmageddon. And then, now we're here, and we had another one for the, albeit to a much smaller degree, for Liberation Day. So that was kind of interesting. Just no one seems to care, but
that was nuts, and it's still totally on the table that all these things are going to happen. Plus, pedophile in chief, and he's now blatantly going after former presidents for made up charges, trumped up charges, one might call them. So it's like, yeah. It just seems kind of like everybody's like, okay, I guess this is normal, and then that's when the rug's gonna get pulled. So I just keep hearing, carnival music, like, when's it going to stop? Can I buy puts now?
Well, like the thing is that you're ascribing a lot of emotions or a lot of logic to the market that
Yeah, I know. I've been
makes
trying to
sense in a
stick with that.
vacuum. But like these guys are thinking to themselves, like they're thinking more in terms of beans that they're counting, right? So like someone goes, I can yield, on a good day, 2% on my entire portfolio by shorting 0DTE vol. As long as the market doesn't do anything absolutely bonkers, I'm gonna be fine. Right.
Yeah,
So
that's definitely the thing I keep telling myself. You are trying to make money, not accurately predict the future.
well, yeah, and it's not only that, but you're trying to make money, not exert your opinion on the market as if the market will always agree. Because the market there is no opinion in the market. There's only profit. And that's the way the market sees itself. So you have to see it the same way. Otherwise, yeah, I mean, like if you want to buy puts because fuck this world, I mean, no one's gonna stop you, right? It's just you expect them to become worthless. It's a massive tail hedge. That's what you're buying. And if you're not hedging the tail on some sort of other exposure, then you're just essentially buying a coin flip.
Yeah.
And that's and that the probability of that coin flip is generally not very good if you're buying any theta at all and you're trying to keep it on the cheap. Like
I pretty much have given up on that for the most part, just because it seems like I can handle the day to day, but God knows what'll happen overnight anymore. So it just seems like I can't, like back when Gherk was still building his 3500p sort of like hedge back before everything went totally bad.
yeah,
Or
I
when,
mean, well, that's the thing is like at some points it makes sense to buy that insurance because it's a good deal.
yeah,
And it may not pay out, but there are points in time where those contracts are cheap, right?
well,
And
that's
if
why
you recognize they're cheap, you can buy them, and then if there is a tail event, you'll make money. But just buying them, like, if like let's say there was a tail event and now they're no longer as cheap, when you're buying them, you're essentially paying a premium to have it during a time of uncertainty. At that point, that's not a trade anymore, right? That's a bet on things getting even worse, which usually doesn't happen.
Well, and now that we've had a 25% crash and I made money, but then I didn't get to keep all of it, I'm like, so this is what would happen in a real crash. So just start getting straight and trade normally on the day to day and don't get greedy.
Oh, well, this was, I mean, me and Nuke like to dick around because he loves degen trades. And I was like, no one's gonna stop you from degenning, but I was like, if you're degen prompts, the only rule for you, right? A fun game rule, right? Just to gamify it for him was like take half the profits and put them into the most boring shit you've ever seen in your life, like just straight
Mhm.
T-bill account. And he did, and he amassed a sizable amount of cash just doing that. Like so, like if there's gonna be like degen shit going on, right? There always has to be a plan with the money. It's not just like roll all that money into more fucking degen shit. If you do that, you're just gonna end up with no money.
Yep.
So, but I mean, yeah, it's the buying put stuff. I do it every once in a while where I just buy some puts because it's like, yeah, they're pretty cheap, and I can probably get away with a little bit on these things. But you know, I want to say 2 out of 3 times those puts end up becoming even more cheap, and I feel sad for holding them. So, you know, I don't do it too often. And for the most part, I just kind of keep my shit and boring stuff and then don't pay
I
attention.
love buying volatility,
Except when things
it's
look
cheap.
sketchy. Yeah, you just wait for the good deals to come around. When they do, you buy some puts, and they might get cheaper, and you might be sad, but they might also get more expensive, and people might want them, and then you'll feel really good. That's
Yep.
kind of the long vol game.
I mean, we're down at what 15 on VIX now, and maybe getting towards 14, and we're at all-time highs.
I bet VIX is probably going to get to. Wait, so Liberation Day, Taco Tuesday Part 2 is in a week and a day.
Mhm.
We might see VIX crush more, but I expect VIX to go up by the end of the month at some point. I don't know by how much, but some amount. But yeah, we might hit 14 before then. We're right on track to do that.
Fun.
It's tail shorters, just shorten tails.
One of the better
cheap.
things I bought, kind of pre the crash thing, was a UVIX call way out of the money, and that thing really printed hard.
I don't like VIX calls.
It was a UVIX call, but it was
Why? Because
it
they're
was very
always
long.
completely mispriced.
Because
Yeah,
they're so skewed.
It was really crazy. Like for a while there, it's like, okay, I've made $100, I've made nothing. I've made $100, I've made nothing, and then it kind of sorted itself out a bit. But that was pretty nice.
Yeah, no, just the delta on VIX calls and shit. Just whenever I look at any of those volatility products, they're always just so crazy overpriced.
Selling
always-
selling in the money fucking calls on VIX is dope.
I can imagine.
Like anytime VIX is over 40, I'm pretty sure if you sell like in the money, like a 30 or 30 call, you automatically, well, at least historically, 100% of the time you make money as long as it's got like 30 DTE, I think.
That's the thing is everybody and their fucking mother will short VIX the moment it goes up because it is the most mean reverting thing out there. I mean, that's why you always see it go down too. That's why we see all the shit we see.
It's definitely been educational. Well, thanks guys again for answering my questions.
Yeah, no problem. Sorry, I just got back, but so I missed all your questions. But
No worries. Yeah, that's why I muted out a lot at the beginning because my kids were also screaming at me. My 4-year-old threw toothpaste and a toothbrush in my face because I said I would brush her teeth for her, and she was mad that she had to brush her teeth.
Awesome. Yeah.
Like, go to bed.
Ooh, we got another question. All right, later, Maeve.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you for the question. And thank you, Max, for the question. Is that Andrache or Andres?
Where?
Who has got their hand raised?
I invited him, I think. Yeah.
Andrache? How do I pronounce that?
He'll tell you in a second.
I like his profile picture.
How you doing?
What's up, man?
Can you
How
hear
you
me?
doing?
Is
Yeah.
that Sylvester Stallone?
Yeah.
Nice.
With some serious eyebrows.
I just want to say, JFresh 2 Chains. I just love saying that name. It's like freaking amazing.
Yeah, I thought it was really. There's a lot packed into that actually.
Every time I say it, I
Yeah.
laugh.
It's like the put and call chains, 2 chains, but
Yeah.
also the wrapper 2 chains.
Yeah. All right. So my question was about GCAN. I've been using it and kind of having mixed results. And I was wondering if GScan was more targeting like a limited time frame, or is it more like just what's going on like the next day, or how should we kind of look at that?
Can you say a little bit more about what you mean by mixed results? Like it's telling you something you weren't thinking it was telling you, or
No, so like I will like keep track of like bearish trends, bullish consolidation, and all the different tags that are in there, and keep track and kind of line out some tickers that I like, and then keep track of them over like a week. And what I've noticed is like some of them go up immediately on like the bullish trend or like the breakouts, and then some of them will revert down, and then they just go in the complete opposite direction, and then a week later they shoot back up.
yeah. So I could just tell you a little bit about this. So basically, we're just looking at like the previous 3 to 5-ish days and trying to figure out what the trend is. And what we do is we rank those trends over the last 3 to 5 trading days based on number one, the strength of the trend itself in price, but also weighted to how much potential room it has to move based on where it is relative to things like delta neutral and gamma max. And so when you see something at the top of a list, for example, like a bearish trend, what that tells you is number one, the trend is strongly bearish, and or sometimes one can overwhelm the other, but it's strongly bearish, and or it has a lot of room to continue to move. So like if I look at QS, which is at the top of the list for bearish trend, yeah, it's like right at gamma max and it's starting to move down. So that might be something that I could be interested in shorting. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to go down, right? I mean, as we all know,
Yeah.
especially when something has, I mean, you can even just look at the last time it did this, right? It went up and then it started trending down. It probably flashed a bearish trend right at, June 27th. And then look at that, it just started running right all over again, right? So there's always those risks, and your risk management is something that you have to work out, right? If you're wrong, but if you're right, this is a pretty juicy setup, right? And so that's kind of like what it's designed to do. It's just designed to say there's so many tickers, you don't have time to go through 1,000 tickers every day and look for fat pitches. Is there something that can kind of rank things for you to kind of get that list shorter?
Yeah,
Um,
totally.
for more, for more digging later. So I would say, at least for QS, it's kind of working as intended, right? It's showing, hey, there's something that's at gamma max, above gamma max. It is running, but this might be a point of weakness where it could go the other way. But then, to kind of give yourself a sense of what is the odds that it's going to go one way or the other, you've got to look at all the other data, you've got to look at news, you've got to do all that work to kind of see upcoming events, to kind of see, how do I want to build this thesis of where I think it might be going.
Right.
But yeah, so to answer the long way to answer your question is, yeah, it's like 3 to 5 days, and it can switch pretty quickly if over the course of 3 or 5 days the trend has changed. And sometimes so one of the reasons that we rank by like the strength of the trend is to try to eliminate noise. So like ones that don't make the list, a lot of those down there are just really noisy. And so it'll try to pick a trend, but really it's just trying to interpret noise. So we try to prevent that.
Hmm.
But I think for the most part, the ones that are near the top tend to be real. Yeah, so like TMC, it's at the top just because its bullish reversal is so extreme. Obviously, it doesn't have much room to run, but its actual move is big enough that I mean, it's moving what, like 6%? Yeah. So yeah, it went down 6% and then went up like 8%. So it's a very
Yeah.
extreme signal from that sense. But then you go and look at it and you're like, well, it's at Gamma Max, and I don't think I don't want to bet that it's going to keep going up necessarily based on that.
Yeah.
I don't,
What would Gherk do
yeah.
moment.
So this is like a bullish reversal that probably won't go anywhere, but who knows, right?
Yeah.
But
No, I
that's kind of how
appreciate it.
you think. That's kind of how you think about it.
Well, it's
Awesome.
also like all these. So like just like just like technical analysis. I mean, all that like it's backward looking. So
Yeah,
it's not going to tell you anything about the future. It's going to tell you about what happened with a D, right? And then the rest is up for you to determine. Oh yeah, this thing says it's in a bullish trend, right? Is this trend going to continue, or is it going to start petering out? That's when the rest of the tools that, like Jay Fresh said, the rest of the tools come into play to figure out your own thoughts on it.
Yeah,
yeah.
I
And
love it. I love it.
one thing I'll add too is that it depends on what you're targeting and where in the move you want to target it. So, like for example, there's some other thing. If you're wanting to capture like a bullish reversal as it's turning around or before it turns around, before a bullish reversal, it has to look like a bearish trend. And so you might go and look at some of the bearish trends if you're interested in trying to catch a falling knife
Yeah.
for the reversal. But if you want to catch a bullish reversal right at the start or right before it's really started moving, and you go to the bullish reversal list, you're just going to find a bunch of stuff that looks like it's already reversed, and some of that move is gone, right? And so you kind of have to play that as well, like Dork was saying, because it's backward looking. Depending on where you want to play it, you might have to look at a completely different trend to try to capture what you're looking for.
Nice. Thank
Obviously,
you.
those are riskier because it hasn't started yet. Trying to catch a big change in price movement is riskier than just riding momentum of an existing thing. But people do that.
Yeah. No, definitely. Yeah. No. Also, I just wanted to say, friggin', you guys are amazing. You taught me so much. Last 4 years have been so cool. I was losing money, left over, hand over fist, and now I'm steadily not losing, but not making. And, so
That's actually a
started
really good
winning.
place to be.
I'm winning.
Yeah.
That's what Gherk. You know what? From all that's where I'm at. So I'm like, okay, I'm here. So
Well, it's like the trick is the trick is to never lose a lot of money, right? It's to make a little, lose a little, make a little, lose a little, make a bunch, lose a little, make a little, lose a little, right? That's kind of what you're supposed to, that's how it's going to end up sort of working out. And hopefully your make a littles are a little better than your lose a littles. And so you'll
yeah,
just very gradually make money. I mean, that's the ideal goal of trading. But then you also, if your portfolio is big enough, you obviously have some level of index exposure and those sorts of things to make sure you're not falling behind the index as your portfolios, your trading strategies are just yielding flat.
Ooh, I did a
So
bunch
as
of.
I've been doing that, one of the most important things is risk management. Like I had none in the beginning, and now I feel like I can handle any situation and react, way faster than I used to, and that's what I think is causing me to not lose money, but also not make money. And I'm just waiting for those opportunities to grab it. And just like you said, throw it in something safe. When you get a big SPX play and you get 2,000 back on a $1,000 contract, throw it in something safe. Don't immediately degen into something, which is something I used to do all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
another thing too is trying to identify like where those easier plays are, or where those higher probability plays are, and just trading less. If you're trading a bunch and it's
Yes.
flat, probably a good idea to think about being more being pickier about when you enter and what kind of things you're looking for.
Yeah. Awesome. Well,
Yeah, all
thank you
about
guys.
skewing the odds and managing your pot.
Yeah, I did a bunch of like tax shit today, which was super fun. And
Oh, you have to pay quarterly, don't you?
yeah, yeah.
Gross.
And I made 87% of the money that I made for the entire year in 2 days of trading.
Nice.
So all those other fucking days that I just sat there, 13%.
Yeah. Well, awesome. I don't want to take any more time in case somebody else wants to come up. So, but thank you guys.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, no problem,
Thanks for
bud.
coming up.
Yeah, thanks for the question.
For sure. See myself out here. I don't know how.
And that's another thing we bring up too. I'm pretty sure we put a fresh coat of paint on the GCAN,
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so it should look better. Should be easier to read, all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Our resident blind person, Jay Fresh, is
Not
hard at work
blind.
making sure it's
He's
legible.
not blind. He's pointy-eyed, which is not
pointy-eyed.
not racist, by the way. He literally has pointy eyeballs.
It's a medical condition.
Yes.
It's a serious condition. It affects tens of people.
There are dozens of us. Dozens.
I hate you.
Wow.
It's better than us telling you have glaucoma all the time.
Yeah, I don't know if it is.
I don't know how to get off the stage, but thanks again.
No problem.
I'm gonna host a charity stream for pointy-eyedness.
Crackle, I'm going to be going to get a follow-up soon, actually in a week or so, and hopefully I'll start down the road of those.
I don't know how to get off the stage.
Gherk, you got him?
You're
What?
gonna have to
Oh
just
yeah,
stay here forever.
yeah. You just gotta stay.
Yeah, you're
You've been so pleasant. We're gonna keep you. No, I'll let you go. Hold
You
on.
actually had a heart attack like 15 minutes ago, and this is hell. You're just stuck
It's
on the stage
purgatory. We're
This
waiting.
is
Yeah,
the-
once
welcome
you
to
get-
hell.
for all of eternity. Where
You're
we
gonna
just
turn
keep
around in
like,
your
oh
chair.
yeah, we'll get you off the stage in just a second. We got you, and you just
Yep.
never leave.
I got him.
No, there-
Some good questions. I like it. Some people have filtered in, so I hope they're getting everything they need.
Why do smart people have the dumbest health issues? I don't know. Is that dumb? I think everybody just has random health issues.
Yeah, some shit pops up and you deal with it.
It's fucking Tom Tom.
I have pointy eyes. Dork makes bread.
I have pointy hips, Jay Fresh.
Ew, what is that?
That's not the only thing you have
child-
that's pointy.
child
Yeah,
rearing hips.
Pointy balls. Actually, yeah. So I was told I have child rearing hips in high school all the fucking time.
Oh,
You really
Yeah,
do
I
have
know,
an
but,
hourglass figure.
I do. It's beautiful.
now I
but,
want to go see that picture you posted a while back of your full body.
But my dad also just recently had a surgery on his I forget what it was. It was a something. I think it was his hip or something. And apparently, there's a chance that I have this gene that makes your hips kind of pointy, and it gives you all kinds of problems when you're in like your 50s and 60s.
Okay, so
My dog has screwed up hips, and she's lived a much better life than even we thought she would. So
Yeah, it's not a death sentence anymore.
screwed up hips? No.
Yeah.
I don't think it ever was.
It was back in the day. Back when we were trying not to get killed.
we need to put in our corporate documentation. If anybody catches Doric limping, he loses a bip.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
We
I lose a
We
bip, not go to the doctor?
literally can't discriminate based
We can't.
on
We can't
medical
afford to fix
history.
your hips.
Not
We
yet.
don't have to.
Look, we just need an interest-bearing hip fund, all right, and then we're good.
Carl's on
No,
it.
what we do is when he needs his hips replaced, we just buy his hips from him at a discount.
You take me out back and shoot me.
No, because then yeah,
This
that's how
isn't the-
This is
if
gone
you-
when I
This
can't
isn't
pull
the
plow.
this isn't the mafia. Yeah, just Carl, if you could just note that this is evidence of a pre-existing condition. Thank you, Maple.
Gotta remember those.
Oh my God.
I am in perfect health, better than Trump, and he's the healthiest white male alive.
Apparently he's got cankles. He's got the medical definition of cankles.
Yeah, he's got what doctors.
Who looked at
describe as
Trump and thought that's a man with a well-formed ankle?
blood.
No one.
cankle.
No one's ever thought that.
So Tom,
Oh my God, we could
is
get.
this Tom?
That's
I don't know.
Pigeonwell Pro.
Yeah, it's Tom-
Well, Prime.
Is that the same person?
Pigeonwell Prime is Tom. He's the first of the Pigeonwells,
shit.
the first of his name, and he's
Oh,
never
shit.
left because he understood the meaning of blood in, blood out. Fuckers, I know who you are.
We can't
I
hear
can't
you.
hear you at all.
Are you
No.
saying stuff? Do you need help?
You need to get closer to your microphone.
You can use the mute button in Morse code.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, there you are.
What's up, man?
Nothing much. I was just trying to get on, but it seems like my computer wasn't working.
Oh, well,
Um,
now you're on.
yeah. First of all, great website. I love the app.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, it was really good. So when you talked about gamma for the 0DT, I understood that part. But when you write Pickles Pick, right, and you talk about the delta into the end of the week,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of don't know how to use that because the gamma charts basically look very similar to delta most of the days. There are some days that kind of look very different. But I've been using the gamma charts mostly to trade. But how would you use the delta as resistance and support, or
You can
another way?
you can use it partially as resistance and support, but mostly I'm looking for like how much delta there is and whether it's going to be supportive of a move to the upside. Because like gamma on the 0DT is going to be the real driver of price, but delta's kind of like the stability in that. And so when you hit pockets of like price range where delta is low, like say from here to here, it's very hard for the market to like move through that. And then also, you know, there is like, if you look, there's probably very little downside gamma. See, there's like no gamma to the downside. So,
Right.
But if there were a lot of gamma to the downside, all this delta would accelerate a move down because the MM is super positive delta, right? And if you start moving down through strikes with larger delta, the MM is going to be dumping that delta very quickly, which then, you know, accelerates a further downside move. That's only really relevant when you have like some negative gamma to support that like continuation, and sometimes that gamma comes in during the intraday. Yeah, mostly what I'm looking for is like what price ranges are supported, right? So if you look here, you have like 350 through 380, which was our price. Like that was like our price range today, right? Like we had a lot of stability on the 60 strike, which is where there's a lot of delta. And we had a really hard time going above the 80 strike, where there's also a lot of delta. And so price just ended up like kind of pinned between all this delta because it's very hard to move past it.
Right. That's why I say that most of the time the gamma charts look very similar to the delta charts, and only on very I think I was on Tuesday. The delta charts were very different from the gamma charts. But like today, it was spot on. The gamma charts were spot on. We bounced at 60, and then we rejected at 75 first thing in the morning.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's why I didn't understand like how to use the delta. because it seemed like it was either redundant or it was just really different.
Delta's never redundant. It's the first order derivative, or it's like the first order. So it's the most important.
Yeah.
Then
So
gamma after that.
yeah, so delta when you're looking at a snapshot like this, delta tells you how much the market maker had to hedge to support what you're currently looking at on the delta chart. Gamma tells you how that hedge is going to change as price moves. So they tend to be correlated. Obviously, delta is much higher, but you can imagine that that hedge has already been placed, and that delta accrues, over usually many months, depending on, unless it's like a meme play or something really big happened and it all accrues in a few days. So the delta is kind of like the total effect of the history of that chain, and then gamma is like how that is going to change with spot. So when you're trading, gamma can be that's why people usually focus a lot on gamma, because that tells you how that hedge is going to change. So the delta can be important in cases where you think that obviously this doesn't happen very much on the indices, but where you think that big positions could get squeezed out and someone might close positions, right? So the delta changes. That is where massive amounts of changes to hedges can occur. So if you squeeze somebody out and they close a huge delta position, the MM has to trade a massive amount to rebalance, right? So
Have you ever seen me in Pickles Picks kind of describe I'll describe the upside as having a lot of negative delta and being squeezy.
Yeah.
So, what JFresh is kind of talking about there is the cover bid. So as price moves, the MM has to bid up in order to hedge the delta that's going in the money. And so when positive delta falls out of the money, or price moves down through positive delta, let's say that, or price moves up through negative delta, this creates a scenario where the MM is going to continue to bid price in that direction. Because every strike that goes out of the money, the more delta they have to sell to the downside. Every strike that goes in the money to the upside, the more delta they have to buy. Here, they're in this current situation, they're just very positively exposed to delta, and there's no negative delta on the chain. So, if you move up, you're gonna add delta to the hedge, but you're not adding all of this delta. It's just as each strike goes in. And then as that strike goes deeper in the money, more of this starts to have more of an effect. And that's, that's something that you see with charm, right? Because as this delta in the money decays towards 1.0, the MM has to continue buying. So if those, if the prior day those contracts are 9.5 and now they're 1.0 or moving towards 1.0, 0.98, 0.99, right? The MM has to keep buying as that delta goes up.
All right, I got it. That was good. Thank you.
Thank you for the question.
Thanks for the question, man.
No problem. Yeah, you guys are great. I really love this platform, man.
I'm glad you like it,
you
dude.
enjoy it.
I hope you're making money off it. That's what matters.
I am, but
Yeah.
I degen too much, so.
Well, if you feel like degenning into some artwork, I have an
Okay,
art
Dork,
piece that is
get your fucking.
up for
This
auction.
isn't for advertising your Etsy store. I'll catch you later, Tom.
All right, thank you.
Thank
Later.
you, Tom.
Thank you.
That's a good question. Delta and it's something that is kind of a recurring theme. Is sort of the correlations and connections between all the derivatives, which some of them are admittedly more esoteric than others, but delta and gamma are kind of the big boys.
I feel like people have a
Um,
really hard time. I feel like Vega's also a very big boy, but I think people have a
Yeah.
very hard time understanding Vega.
Well, because it's weird. It's just weird. Like delta and gamma make a lot of sense because they have to do directly with, oh, this contract value is going to go up this much if the stock moves. That's very easy to sort of have become intuitive, but
Oh, god damn it, Max. I swear to God, if you copy and paste a fucking piece of the docs again, I'm gonna I guess I'm just happy he's reading them. Whatever.
that's true. He visited the docs page and looked at that before he copied and pasted it.
You probably read it, too.
Yeah.
We got Zoots. Zoots hopping up here.
Zoots. Where's Suits?
Zoots.
Hello,
Zoots?
hello, Zoots.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good.
Doing alright.
Chilling.
Cool. I was looking at ticker JD, and I was looking at the volatility page. So I just had a couple of questions with all the new things that you added.
Yep.
So first thing is, on the volatility smile, if I hover over any number, right, I see that there's two values for IV. Is the top one calls and the bottom one puts?
For which?
When
chart?
when I'm looking at the when I go to the volatility page, and then
Yeah.
on the bottom right by the volatility smile,
Yeah.
if I hover over any strike and I see strike, I'm at JD right now,
Yeah.
and I'm looking at the September OPEX 919 and the $30 strike. I see IV at 41, and then I see strike 30 at 0.74. So I was just wondering what those two values are. Is the top one for calls and the second one for puts?
Hold on, we're
The
looking at
volatility smile?
Yeah.
Are you talking about the term structure or the smile?
So the volatility smile is by expiry. So the grayed out line is the volatility at the most recent expiry, and then when you move the slider, you're seeing the volatility smile at different expiries. It looks like JD's got a really weird option chain with a bunch of weird strikes based on what I'm looking
It looks
at.
like it's got no fucking options on the chain. Or at least not very
Yeah,
many.
I was
It's
just
got
looking at it
options. I mean, you
because
look at Greek by strike, it's got a good amount of them, but I think they're all at weird strikes.
yeah, I was just looking at it because on the exposure scanner, I saw like the past 5 or 6 days or so, and I was talking to you guys about it, I think last week or 2 weeks before, where Kirk was mentioning like, oh, if you see something, like let's just say DEX skew adjusted is trending up, and there's delta being added, that it might be, and you might see a spike. It might be a good time to sell some volatility or to maybe buy some spreads, right? And I was just wondering how to utilize like the IV to determine what would be more ideal. Obviously, like there's TA as well, but with these new features, I was just thinking like, would it be more advantageous to sell put spreads or to actually potentially buy call spreads? Is there any way to look at that besides just the open interest on the chains, and just like looking at IV?
Well, I can tell you now something's going on with the bottom three charts. I'm not sure. We'll have to.
I think it has to do with, it's the same thing we're dealing with some of the other ones. Where like there's just weird strikes, and some of the chains don't have a ton of the strikes that the other ones do, and other shit like that. So we only end up with a couple data points ending up showing up, which is not
The strikes here look
not
normal.
the best thing ever. Yeah, they look normal on Greek by strike. That's why I think that it's some sort of thing with the locations of the strikes. Like there's 3650s, but do those exist at other registries?
So
and
maybe
shit like that.
maybe the charts sets a whole dollar values, and that's fucking it
It's
up.
There's
something
something
like that, yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to tweak it so that it can actually, because there's limitations of the charting software on like plotting a uniform grid, and we are trying not to interpolate to like create like phantom contracts that don't exist, but we might just have to do that.
Got it. I mean, just looking at it anyways, when you go to like just the Greeks, the overview, like when you see this, and you see, gamma max going down and gamma neutral trending down, vega neutral trending down, is there anything I can make of that?
I mean, generally speaking, it's fairly bullish, but I feel like maybe a lot of that's already been realized. Like, you're already getting a bit of a turnaround in skew adjusted delta. So I mean, I would say that this is starting to look more bearish. A little bit. That doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna drop really hard. It would need to continue to trend that way. Like, and you would probably want to confirm, that the supportive gamma here is lost. But if the supportive gamma here is lost, then I could see it getting down like back to 30 fairly quickly.
I see. Okay. All right. I mean, I guess I'll mess around with the IV page on more liquid chains, I guess, with more whole numbers or less of the the 0.5s and whatnot, and
Yeah,
that's our bad.
the options market is just filled with like weird little edge cases. So we build the charts with a plan in mind, and then we have to go back in and like
Yeah, and then
readjust.
QQQ issues a special dividend at strikes that end in 0.78 cents. It's like, oh, it's not really...
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming out, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you got it. Yep, you got it.
Woo! I love questions. They're the best.
Yeah, this is cool. We're getting all
Yeah,
kinds
we're
of
getting
questions
good,
tonight.
healthy.
Yeah, they're good
little
questions.
mix here.
JD, what is JD? Is that JD Wentworth 877 cash now?
I have no idea.
That's JG Wentworth.
Yeah.
Oh, whoops. Oh, JD.com. They are an e-commerce business.
Yeah. I don't know what they do.
Okay.
Ooh.
Apparently they're worth $48 billion though, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Super cool.
I know Jay Fresh is really excited to hear that this company we've never heard of is worth $48 billion. Makes sense.
Hey, I'm fine with that, actually, honestly, as long as it's a real company.
That's true. If they actually like provide a good or service for their customers, and then
No,
make
I
a
don't
little
care.
profit off
I don't care if the
They
service
do
is
like
good.
e-commerce for retail, health, industrials, and other components.
It sounds like a scam. But it has more than 5 strikes on its options chain.
They're based in
More than
China.
2 or 3.
Yeah, it's just Chinese stock. Similar to Alibaba. Okay. Worth more than GameStop. What isn't worth more than GameStop?
These
Excuse
guys
me.
actually sell stuff.
Worth more than GameStop, the Bitcoin Treasury Company.
Right. MicroStrategy Mini.
Yeah, also known as Marathon Holdings.
Wait, we need the Dr. Evil with Mini-Me and the little like front kangaroo pouch thing, but we need it to be Sailor as Dr. Evil and then RC as Mini-Me. And then
Oh,
we've got a good
God.
meme on our hands.
Did you find me? Between him and Bill Ackman makes me want to make billionaires illegal.
Bill Ackman's an idiot.
He's an activist, man. It's in his name. The universe named him to be an activist.
Ugh. I don't know what it is about people thinking that someone with a lot of money is smart.
It helps maintain the social order of things.
They don't just
I guess that's
hold
true.
U.S. Treasuries; they also hold some small amount of Bitcoin.
Hmm.
It does.
We see what you say. If you made it, you are. But Bill Ackman made his money. All right. How he made his money, though, was entirely basically tumbling his way upward.
No, he was.
No,
he
he
had a
made it
silver
off
spoon in his
of
mouth the whole way.
genius investments like Herbalife and Netflix.
He had a silver spoon in his mouth the entire way.
Of course he did.
Oh yeah, I'm saying he had connections to very wealthy investors that a normal
that were all
person
his
would otherwise have
daddy's
never
friends that would have never given him money if they weren't his daddy's friends.
That's not true.
Exactly.
I know a few billionaires, and they'll literally give anybody money who will tell them that they can make more money with their money. Like, as long as they don't have to think about that pile of money anymore, they're very happy. They really don't care if you blow it up. Look at Gabe. Gabe blew up so much money. And no one gave and then he was just like, I'm gonna start another fund, and everyone was like, I'm gonna invest in it.
True. Yeah, but he's the greatest trader of our generation.
He did. His
True.
performance was very, very good until he lost his clients literally everything.
Isn't that how it often goes?
So
huh?
he was up. He was up like 33% annually compounding for like 7 years, and then he was down 100%.
Gabe Plotkin Grackle.
Plotkin,
Yeah.
little Gaby boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you guys don't pretend like you don't remember him. I don't know if Michael Jordan needed the money. I doubt it.
I don't know. Nike's not doing too great. Are they still paying him royalties?
He makes money off of the shoes. He's made more money off the shoes than he ever did playing basketball.
I love that
Michael Jordan's
Jordan-
worth $3.5 billion.
I love that Michael Jordan is basically just a shoe salesman.
But a $3.5
Really
billion
fucking good.
shoe salesman.
Yeah.
Sure. He's really good at selling shoes. But he's a shoe salesman nonetheless. He's not really a basketball player more than he is a shoe salesman.
Hmm.
All right, anything else we want to call it? I can't do these all night anymore.
I mean, yeah, it seems like we've answered all the questions. Everybody here seems to be not
Stated.
raising their hands, which means we've answered all their questions and they know everything.
Yep. All right. Well, we will possibly see you guys next week for another one of these.
Or not.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Or not. We don't know yet. We'll decide. Gorilla Mode, thank you so much. Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
thanks
thanks
for
listening.
tuning
Thanks
in.
for asking
we gotta-
questions.
Where's Gorilla Mode?
He wrote cock on the YouTube channel.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted
Woo.
to see.
Cock.
Cock.
Punchus.
Such a weird thing. But
All right.
you know what?
Baby Farms.
Baby first.
Baby Farms.
Baby Farms. Let's fucking
All right.
go.
Later, guys.
Later. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for coming on.